Want to get your opinion on the Astros and Pirates. Pirates dropped first game of the series, and this poor Skeens, like he's so good, but
Yeah.
you look at his record, and you're like, what does he suck? And it's
Gets
like, no,
no
he went
run
eight
support.
innings,
Yeah.
8 innings, 1 run allowed, and
Yeah. Yeah.
lost. So, all right. So, what are we doing with the Astros and the Pirates today?
Yeah, you prefaced this by saying we got a couple good games. I don't know if this one falls under that category, other than the fact that Houston's just a minus 125 money line favorite. But, I'm going to focus in on the total here. And it's ironic you just had Art the Caesar on, and he just had a question about the public being baited by a line or a total. And I looked at this and I saw a total of 9. And the fact that Pittsburgh can't hit their way out of a paper bag this season, and the Astros aren't exactly tearing the cover off the ball. But yet, we're looking at a total of 9, and we're looking at a 3-0 game yesterday. But here's when you look inside the numbers, specifically when you look at the pitching numbers for both teams. Ryan Gusto gets a start for the Astros. Terrible form over his last 4, Andy, with an 8.56 ERA, a 2.19 whip, and he allowed 4 home runs in 13 and 2/3 innings pitched. All 4 of his starts have gone 4 innings or fewer, so he hasn't been able to get beyond the 4th inning. And that, all in all, with those numbers, it's easy to see he's struggling. The Houston bullpen over the last 6 games, even though they're coming off a shutout win yesterday, their bullpen over their last 6 games, 11.29 ERA and a 1.96 whip. So you couple the fact with a struggling starting pitcher, a starting pitcher that doesn't give you a lot of innings over his last 4 starts, and a bullpen that struggled mightily. Although 3 to 6 games, those numbers have been askew because of that. But having said that, it's a dangerous combination when you're expecting even a team like Pittsburgh not to put up some run production tonight. Michael Burrows makes just his 3rd start of the season. His first 2, both games went over the total. In those 2 outings, a 10.13 ERA and a 1.62 whip, 3 home runs allowed in 8 innings pitched. And the Pittsburgh bullpen that has struggled for the majority of the year, at least, I guess, if at the very best, they're below average. And over their last 5 games, a lofty 6.10 ERA from the bullpen staff of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm going to go Astros and Pirates over the total of 9. And this is one of those plays, Andy, you know yourself, that's in order to be successful, sometimes you have to make that uncomfortable pick, uncomfortable bet. And that's one of those this is one of those situations.
All right, that comment is Ross Benjamin at his best. So, Ross, you said at their best, they're below average. that's, that's
Hey,
that is very, very well said, Ross.
yeah.
You've been
Yogi Berra's got nothing on me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited for the breakdown on this game because you got a lot of props in this one, and the beautiful thing, you got some plus money props. There's no laying juice in this one. So let's break down Guardians and Yankees. We got Ortiz for Cleveland, I believe, and Schmidt for the Yankees. How do you see this game going?
Well, I started handicapping this game, and I, a lot of people like to look at how a starting pitcher does against a specific team, and that's a good starting point. But what I like to look at is I look at the current roster of each team, okay? Because personnel changes on an annual basis. And when I looked at the current rosters of both teams against both of these starting pitchers, they've had a lot of success against Luis Ortiz and also Clark Schmidt. Let's start with Paul Goldschmidt. Against Ortiz, he's gone 7 for 10 lifetime, 700 batting average, hit 2 doubles, walked twice. So I'm going to go with Goldschmidt, 2 or more total bases at money line odds of plus 110. Stephen Kwan against Clark Schmidt. Stephen Kwan, I think he's one of the more underrated hitters in all of baseball, and he's especially been tough against Clark Schmidt. 6 for 12 lifetime, 500 team batting average, or 500 batting average, with a double and 2 walks. So I'm going to go here, Stephen Kwan, 2+ total bases at money line odds of plus 130. And then we're going to go to Kyle Mazzardo, who's scheduled. I looked at the expected lineups today, and he's slotted as the cleanup hitter today for Cleveland. He against Clark Schmidt. Manzardo has had a ton of success. Not a ton of success. It's a short sample size, but being that, he's 3 for 5 in his career against Schmidt. 600 batting average, 2 home runs, and 1 walk. I'm going to take a shot here with Manzardo, and we're going to probably need a long ball out of him, but I think he's capable of doing so based on this short sample size. Manzardo, 2+ total bases at money line odds of +155. So there you have it. I mean, 3 player props, all total base player props, and all plus money.
Love it, Ross. You've been having a really, really good month of May. And I know you had a great month of May, but you've continued it into June. So tell us a little bit about that. And then I will say this. One of the things that I said when I was taking over the show is we got to be careful about saying we're number one in the last 41 days. Number one in college football is bragging. That is something that you can be really, really proud of. And I know you have a college football special that is up. So tell everyone what you have up today for clients, and then tell us about that college football special.
Yeah, I finished number 1 in college football at WagerTalk last year. I finished 61% winners for the year. And then I finished the season from September 13th on. I finished 60-35, 63% up over 55 units. So, anytime you go number 1 with the cast of characters we have over at WagerTalk.com, I'm pretty proud of that. And I'm also going to brag about it because you don't know the next time that's going to happen, and that's the truth of the matter. And then also been on a great run with Major League Baseball, 23-9 since May the 12th, up over 35 units. My totals plays in all sports, 14-2, up over 34 units. All sports, NBA, Major League Baseball, whatever I put up, 12-2 the last 14, and 33-15, 69% since May 13th in all sports. Net profit of 45.34 units. And it doesn't stop there. The NBA, I'm on a 9-2 run in the NBA playoffs. I mentioned last week, Andy, that I was disappointed in my performance in this year's NBA playoffs, but we're starting to catch fire in the NBA at the right time because we're going into the finals. NBA postseason wagers since 2022, 145 and 102, 59% winners, up 122.69 units. And best yet, my NBA postseason sides. And I have one of those up right now, Game 1, NBA side winner in the series, the NBA Finals Series is up right now for $25. My NBA postseason sides, 82-50, 62%, and plus 92 plus units since 2023. And then I failed to mention number 2 in Major League Baseball at the site as we speak.